Malaysian 370, contact Ho Chi Minh 120.9. Good night.
Good night, Malaysian 370.
Breaking news tonight, a Malaysia Airlines flight with 239 people on board, including 4 Americans, has gone missing.
From the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
Yo, chat, we are live. Welcome to the stream. I'm your host, Ashton Forbes. This is MH370X. Happy to have you guys here tonight on this Wednesday evening. Cheers, everybody. Woo! Wow, and are we drinking? Yes, we are. At least we're having one drink, celebratory drink. Okay, so for those of you who are not on Twitter and you're listening to the stream, we had, it's funny, the biggest revelations come from the past, it seems like. So earlier, let me go ahead and turn that down. Earlier today, a few hours ago, I saw that my favorite follower, Mandolin, had posted a 15-minute clip from Bob Greenyer's Fractal Toroidal Moments. Fractal Toroidal Moments was the stream back in, I believe, November, where Bob Greenyer went through and reviewed the MH370 videos. And you may say, well, hey, Ashton, those videos are old. They're from November. Why are we just getting into it now? Because the answer is, it wasn't until now that I began to understand the science and understand it. And I put it all together. I watched the whole 15-minute clip and the whole segment, and I went, wow, I actually understand the words that he's saying now. I saw the donut shape, the toroid, and I realized what he was talking about in terms of the monopole and the non-radiant barrier in their field, and then the matter feeding into it, and then using the Ukanavasara, is that how you say it? I'm not sure if that's how you say it correctly, where then the matter is kind of going back into the system, as well as this idea that it's pulling the energy from the vacuum of the space-time. But even more than that, he also spoke to the rationale for why the orbs are converging. And it's exactly what I had predicted. And this is now why I see why all these people wanted to talk to me, right? I'm not saying that I'm a psychic or whatever. I'm just saying that when I was looking at the videos, there's no way they can be fake. There's no possible chance. You don't have videos where people are literally able to look at them and understand advanced science that's not even publicly agreed upon. And then getting actual engineers and physicists and experimental engineers, by the way, ones that actually do experiments, not influencer scientists, coming to you and going, yes, this proves our concepts, right? This is why people are talking to me, because they're going, this guy's figuring it out randomly, just looking at it, right? When they're jamming together, it's increasing the energy densities exponentially. This is where you're getting the magic, where how can you break the Schwinger limit, as Salvatore Pais mentioned it? This is how. This is how you're breaking it. You get to a point where you have this huge amounts of energy density increases that are possible. And so this is what, we'll go through the whole video just to watch it together here. I ran back home, I started editing it and start clipping it and pulling out the pieces that are significant. So this is the stuff that's just going to straight up break the minds of the debunkers, right? Because there's no counter argument at all whatsoever. The science wasn't even publicly known in 2014. Bob Greenyer is the one who's on the forefront of low energy nuclear reactions. He knows all the people that are doing this stuff. Malcolm Bendel and Bob Greenyer didn't make this video. It certainly wasn't some random idiot who is pretending like he made the videos and doesn't have any evidence for them. He doesn't even have the scientific know-how in order to even make those videos, right? That's the big problem. There's too many requirements. So what we'll do tonight, we'll look at the video. We'll go through the requirements as well, just so that people understand the huge list of requirements. And this will explain, first of all, there's no possible chance that one person made these videos. It's not even possible. Literally not possible for one person to have made these videos. People have tried to recreate them and can't even recreate them, even while they're literally staring at them and can copy all the details, let alone being able to figure out how to do this from scratch and understanding the science. The only possible theoretical way anyone could have made these is if it was a government that knows about the science, that produced them as some sort of psyop, and even that makes no sense. So this is the kill shot here tonight to the debunkers. There is no other logical, rational explanation. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and do it. And I understand it. Science is hard to believe, man. But you know what? That's for anyone who's struggling with this idea, which I know there's a lot of people out there struggling with this idea that these videos can be real and this science can be real. Just realize that we are cavemen. That's what I want you to realize. We're cavemen right now. We are not at the forefront of all scientific knowledge in this universe. We're not even close, right? If you're the kind of person that doesn't even realize that there is an extra dimension with which we can, or just the idea, not even extra dimension. Let's not even go to that far yet. If you just don't realize that in any free space, there's not nothing here. That's not how things work. There's a latent energy in there. There's so much energy in just the palm of my hand that, what is it that they say? That you could evaporate all the world's oceans? Just think about that for a second. Just think about that. Space is not empty. Once you realize that, everything else will start to make sense. You'll start to realize we are just in the beginning. We are just little cavemen coming out of our cave, starting to learn how fire works. Okay? Okay, so for the people in the chat, Chad and Sherry's podcast called Investigate Earth. You definitely should go ahead and check out the Investigate Earth podcast. You should also listen to the one that they just did with Dave Rossi and myself, because they talk about, Dave Rossi just comes out and talks about over unity, right? And the reason is because, people aren't going to believe it anyway. Dave and I are the kind of people that we want the world to know the truth, right? And I think that the rest of the people out there's a lot of scientists out there that, A, they're super awkward. B, they are intimidated really easily. C, they're bought out. Or D, they're malicious and they don't want the world to know, right? There's a lot of people in those categories. If you're somebody that knows about this technology, you're gonna abuse it. Why are you gonna try to explain to Redditors and other idiots, right? You're not going to. You just don't care. Why do I do it? Because I don't know. Maybe I'm one of the first people to have grown up in the internet age and be able to deal with useless trolls and stuff like that, right? And not back down from them. There's not a lot of people like that, and be able to understand the science. Now, I'm a very far way from understanding the science to the level that Dave is or even Bob is, but today I had a revelation where I was watching his clip, and back when you guys saw me interview him right away, right? When I interviewed Bob right away, I didn't understand half the stuff he was talking about. It was going right over my head. When I watched it again today, it was like I was all of a sudden could understand another language. Not that I can explain it all as accurately as he can, but like I was listening and I can understand his language. And I'm going, whoa, this makes sense now. So, here we go. I'll pull the chat up over the top if I can. Hold on.
When I saw the Jeremy Reese interview and realized that this was a video from 2014, and with the context that I've just given you and what you see, and that knowing that this can cause things to disappear, and when they tend to do that disappearance, they go in a flash, I was compelled to do this. So for those that like to attack the project when they feel that we're going off subject, I'm sorry for you, but I believe that this is fully...
I left this part in just for the trolls. I could have removed this part right here, I left this in just for the trolls, just for the people that want to attack so that they can realize that they don't know everything in the world. In fact, they're some of the dumbest people, the trolls and what have you that want to try to talk down. Those are the dumbest people. Jake Chansley even had a good quote about it today, is that don't judge people by their answers, judge people by their questions, right? I almost retweeted it, but we had other stuff we had to deal with.
On subject, and I think that at some point we've got to address ways in which this technology has been used,
I'll mute myself.
because we need to wake up to its possibility. If it turns out to be fake, well, it's a pretty well-informed fake, is all I can say. And I didn't go back in time and force them to make this video with what we know now. This would kind of imply that these are warmer than the environment, and for that to happen, one might expect that if they didn't have their own energy source, they must be extracting the energy from the environment.
So right away, he points out that these orbs have to be extracting energy from the environment. They're hotter than the surroundings, right? And they don't seem to have any other energy source, right? So right away, boom, we're talking about 0-point energy.
That the exotic vacuum objects will fire a thing, or it has some sort of projected field out in front of it that will cause other exotic vacuum objects to orbit around them. So there is something that goes out in front. I believe that this is the toroidal moment, the beam that goes out far faster in front of it, and that, along with the, let's say, the Ukon of Asara, this part of the fractal toroidal structure, this part here, this changes epsilon 0 of the physical.
Epsilon 0, chat. We finally know what epsilon 0 means. The vacuum permittivity of free space. So when he talked about changing epsilon 0, I had no idea what the hell he was talking about back then. He's talking about breaking through the freaking fabric of space-time, chat. He's talking about breaking through the fabric of space-time.
Vacuum, and it has like a beam that comes out.
That's why we see the geodesic.
And that enables all of the funky magic that these things can do. Often we are seeing, and maybe, I don't know if I can zoom in, I can't zoom in. We are seeing the non-radiating boundary, and you can go and look at this video itself, but inside that there is a much smaller thing, and it does tend to be offset. It does tend to be offset, and that would be consistent with the toroidal structure in the center and the kind of mushroom that it creates with the material as it goes around orbiting the fractal toroidal structure in the center of the exotic vacuum. Okay,
so what did he just say right there? He just said that what's happening is that the matter is moving towards this heat signature, and then it's bending back around, orbiting the center, just like we saw when we looked at the plasma experiment that I posted on Twitter like a few days ago, where you see the toroid and then you see the dome structure right above it.
Object.
Is it starting to come together?
We have our non-radiating boundary, okay? And we have this little tuft of thing at the top, right? Now, I'm going to go back to the monopole in this presentation, and we have shown that our work is actually more accurate than this. So if you can imagine,
there you go. Now we can finally look at it
here,
right? So now you can see the toroidal structure right here, right? And then you can see the energy here that's making the half dome, okay? I never understood what I was looking at here, but that's what we're looking at as the toroidal moment right here, the toroidal structure that's ring around it. And I believe this one I'm still not 100% sure on. I think that we're looking at it from the other angle. Could be wrong.
This is where the torus is kind of focusing its moment to lead to the monopole location, the topological monopole here. This is a dome that you get. So here,
see, he just mentioned the dome.
So the monopole is actually at the base of this bit here, okay? And this is the glowy bit that you see.
There you go. So the monopole is right there in the middle, and it's creating the dome around it. So this is why the dome is so large, right, chat? We're looking at the non-radiating barrier. People are like, why is this like 30 feet wide? Because it's not. The object inside is much smaller. Much smaller. It's creating a field all the way around it. The non-radiating barrier.
as material is pushed through, but then it hits the top of the non-radiating boundary and is fed back into the coherent structure. Okay. Here, this is very, very clear. This is almost exactly looking like the Aalto University peer-reviewed published structure.
Peer-reviewed published structure, guys. We're talking about real science here, not random crap where people make stuff up. We're talking about peer-reviewed published science.
So the monopole
Aalto University.
Would be at this point, the toroidal moment would be going out this way, and you can see the dark area in front, so it's cohering energy from here. Okay, so this is traveling in this direction, and it's cohering energy from in front of it, and that comes into what I call the Borg.
So when he's talking about cohering energy from in front of it, he's talking about essentially sucking energy from the vacuum of space-time. That's where the energy is coming from, right? This also can explain the dark lines, right? So it's kind of a 2-for-1 special right there.
Yeah, it becomes part of the collective. There, this is very, very clear. Okay, so the monopole's location is here. This is the non-radiating boundary. Okay, this is the phase inversion. The dark area above will be where it's cohering energy, and you will have the disruption beam coming in to the monopole at the bottom here. So when I saw this video, it was like, well, to fake this one back in 2014 showed incredible understanding of technology that no one had an understanding outside of the black world.
Okay, so when he's talking about right now, he's saying on the right one, the satellite video. Just to be able to make the satellite video, you had to have an understanding of technology that nobody, except for in the military-industrial complex, even would have understood, right? That's the right video, okay? And we know that, too, because we were able to deduce how the satellite video was even set up using a computer-generated image, right? We were able to figure that out just from deduction, where people didn't even think that was possible. People in 2024, supposed experts from the independent group, were sitting there telling us that it's not even possible because they don't even know how satellites work, right? So how did somebody fake this in 2014?
Even if
and that's the easier one.
Understanding in the black world.
That's the easier one to fake.
To fake this one and have the thermal imaging correctly representing and the non-radiating boundary and everything is beyond imagining.
Faking the one on the left, having the non-radiating barrier like that. There's what he's saying. There's no basis whatsoever for it in 2014. Nobody in the public sphere could have even come up with that. Nobody. Certainly not anybody on Twitter or Reddit pretending like they did. Nobody. It simply was not public knowledge. The experiments had not been done. The science had not yet been discovered. Right? I can already hear the debunkers melting down, trying to figure out some rational way where they can explain this away, and they can't. You're wrong. You've been wrong the whole time. The videos are real. The science is also real. All the bullshit you lie to yourselves about is just straight up huffing copium because you live in a fake world where you believe fake ass crap. I'm going to be the one who just lays it down on you, the hard truths, okay? That's why my podcast is called Hard Truths. You know? If you have a hard time with it, go seethe about it. Go seethe.
Here, if that doesn't tell you you've got your Ukon Vasara there, I don't know what will, right?
By the way, chat, we also proved that these are accurately distorted when they go through the trails of the plane as well. This is a real video. I don't know how many times I've got to explain it to the dullards out there and the Mick West idiot-ass cultists out there that don't understand how science and reality works, who can't even tell we're looking at a real video. These people have no credibility whatsoever now and in the future, right? Anything Mick West says, anything his cultists say, no credibility whatsoever. They can't even distinguish reality from fiction.
It looks like...
And I'm not talking about just from looking at it, but actual science, like real science, not, doesn't look quite right to me. My uncle's a VFX expert. No, real science.
This, okay? That is the bit that changes epsilon 0, okay? The permittivity of the vacuum, okay? And it's pulling it in here. It's correctly facing forward as it is at the moment. And so what you would want to do is you would want to bring these in, get them into their alignment, get them tracking the device accurately, get them equidistant, and then what you would do is you would rotate their orientation so their toroidal moments link up and make a super tor that would then have its...
Guys, he just said the thing that we only discovered like 2 weeks ago. Both videos have the orbs realigning. Remember when we discovered the realignment? That was like right before I was on Tim Pool in early January. And then when we discovered the orbs were slowing down in the satellite video, and then we discovered it's the same time. Bob Greenyer was talking about it back last year in November. How did Bob Greenyer figure it out before we even figured it out from the investigation? He figured it out because it's scientifically accurate, because he knew scientifically what we should be looking for. He didn't even really know. He saw the orientation shifts here. We're going to see that in a second. He didn't even notice that you can see it in the satellite video too. Guys, the videos are real. These details are not fakeable. Like, I don't know what else people need, right?
Azimuth going through the center of the...
And of course, their next play is going to be try to discredit Bob Greenyer, right? Because these idiots, these dumb moron skeptics, they don't know how to think for themselves. They literally do not have the capability of thinking for themselves. They're NPCs. For them, the truth is whatever CNN told them, whatever their fake experts they believe in tell them, that's their life. That's their reality. That's their truth. And they live in a fake reality, right? A fake world. And they don't listen to the real experts who do actual scientific experiments, who are actually supported by real scientific papers. That's the difference between debunkers and our investigation, where we look at real science.
The craft that you are wanting to either disappear or teleport. If you reduce the overall diameter of the Tor -1, the field strength in both in the Tor -1 and through the azimuth goes up exponentially. And
okay, boom, right there. That's the death blow right there. That's the money shot. Booyah! Once you pull the orbs in, the field strength is increasing exponentially. This is what's causing the singularity to be induced. This is the unification of the forces that's happening. This is exactly when I'm using my explanation. Guys, I've been sitting here talking about taking opposite polarity magnets and jamming them together, right? And as they get closer and closer, they repel stronger and stronger, right? Is that an exact analogy? No, but it's good enough for the layman. That's what's happening here. This is where Salvatore Pais comes in and says, achieving energy densities higher than 10 to the 33 to break the vacuum permittivity of space-time, epsilon 0.
This is already...
I can't believe the words I'm coming out of my mouth right now. How do I even know this?
That this is technologically possible, we have the most incredible future ahead of us.
That's my favorite part about the whole clip. I want to play it again.
Mentally proven. If we...
In fact, let's play this part.
Both in the Tor -1 and through the azimuth goes up exponentially. And this is already experimentally proven.
Experimentally proven. This is experimentally proven. It's not theory. It's experimentally proven.
If we generally get accepted that this is technologically possible, we have the most incredible future ahead of us.
God, I love hearing it. I love hearing that from Bob.
Just the most incredible future.
We have the most incredible future ahead of us, everybody. That's the truth. That's the reality. This technology is possible. We can change the whole world with this technology. Free energy. We just talked about it. Taking the energy from the vacuum of space-time. Teleportation. Sure. Force fields, medical healing. All this stuff. All the good stuff. But you know what comes with it as well? Doomsday weapons come with this. 100% doomsday weapons. This is why it's classified.
At this point, they seem to be tumbling the monopoles. So it's not...
So he just noticed the monopoles are tumbling, right? This is right before the zap here. He's noticing it. This is the same exact moment in the satellite video. You can see them side by side where they start to slow down. The exact same moment where they're starting to slow down. He didn't even see that in the satellite video because it's much harder to tell in the satellite video without the thermal on the orb.
Going forward, it's starting to rotate itself.
See, he notices it right there. You can tell because when it goes from like where my mouse is here to down here, it stays in this specific orientation because they're beginning to orient in a line.
And
then you see the flip happen right there.
Okay, do they align? Do they start to get into alignment?
You saw them align. We've shown it, and we'll show it again right after this. And then they converge.
Because what you want is the monopoles to have their their own azimuth to produce a ring to create another tour above, and then you pull these in, and that creates the unification of the forces at the phase singularity of the -1 tours. Look, okay, so they're pulling in at that point, right? That's exactly what you want, right before. So they're rotating and pulling in, okay? That is exactly what you would need to do, and boom, it disappears. And it goes in a flash.
And there you go, chat. That's what we needed. Booyah. And the energy densities are achieving such high levels that we're seeing gravitational lensing begin to happen. Not only are we breaking through the fabric of space-time, we're seeing the gravitational lensing. How do we know where they think it goes for the fourth orb, everybody? There has to be some way to control the pattern, some way to control where it goes. Where's my rubber band? I don't know where the heck my rubber band went. I had a rubber band, but you have the fourth orb. Also, guys, optical phase conjugation is the answer. Optical phase conjugation. Check out my video. Search on my channel, on my Twitter channel. Find the optical phase conjugation video. The answer is that a phase conjugate wave gets produced in the opposite direction. So what's the opposite direction, everybody? The opposite direction of what we're looking at is the Maldives. We've had it figured out from the beginning. We figured it all out from the beginning. Here it is. Here it is. Ignore all this weird Latin at the top. Ignore the weird Latin at the top, chat. I'm not going to do any weird symbols over my eyes either. But the plane is going south into the east in the video. So if it's being sucked backwards, like we actually see happen, right? So I'll show you another video. Right? So here is the plane. We see the plane getting sucked backwards, right? This is somebody made this video to show it being sucked backwards here, where it's blurring. You can see it's getting sucked backwards, the tail. So if it's going backwards, then it's going backwards somewhere in this direction. And what's over here? The Maldives. And what happened down here at this island called Kuda Huva Dodo, whatever this is. 3,500 people live on this tiny island, guys. They don't see jumbo jets flying over. They see the plane coming from the west, going south towards Diego Garcia. Well, if the plane's over here, there's no problem for it to be coming from the west and going south. Now, we pull up the videos. Where's my slow... I'll look for the slow satellite video. Okay, so we were watching this video. This is what he was just watching, right? Zooms in. We see the heat signature. He even mentions the fire as well. I think I might have edited that out, but he even mentions the fire. You can see here that right beforehand, if we go to the super slow-mo, and this is why they're showing the slow-mo here, guys. The reason why they edit this slow-mo in like this is because they want us to see the non-radiating barrier, that what we're looking at here is a ball of plasma. They wanted us to know. This is... there's no other explanation when we look at this where you see the bending of it. If this was a metal orb, it's not going to look like this at all, right? Everybody in the chat saying, sorry, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, guys, I love Joe Rogan. I don't want to be rude because I think I love Joe Rogan, but Joe Rogan's a podcaster. He's not a scientist, right? This checks out scientifically. Optical phase conjugation will be able to somehow lead us to macroscopic phase conjugation. We will understand this. I'm 100% guarantee you. I don't know how long it's going to take, but we will. You can see them flip right there. I mean, you can just literally see them flip right here. Look at them reorient right here. They're reorienting, right? Like, look at this. Boom. See that reorientation happen right there? That's right before they converge. Nobody made that up. Nobody made that in their fake hoax video. I don't know how people even think this is fake. Oh, I made this in Unreal Engine or what's the other one they say? After Effects. No, you didn't because you can't. This is the reason why no one's been able to even reproduce it. Even when they're literally staring at it, they still can't reproduce it. Even when they literally are staring at it. Even the satellite video, which is much easier to recreate, where supposedly all the assets have been found by the debunkers. Supposedly all the assets have been found and they still can't recreate it, right? that just goes to show you how A, the debunkers are liars, and I mean this objectively. They're objectively liars who fabricate false evidence, right? Because they have cognitive dissonance happening. And if these videos are real, their whole lives have been a lie. They've been living a lie for the whole lives, and they can't come to terms with it, right? They're not willing to wake up. They're the NPCs in the Matrix that are fighting back against reality because they'd rather go back to sleep, right? That's what the debunkers are. That's just, I'm not trying to be rude. That's just the reality of their situation, right? It hurts their feelings because it's true, and the truth usually does hurt. It's just incredible. Let's look at it one more time. And then I'm going to try to find the satellite video of the slow-mo. What's this one? Oh, that's just some random zap comparison. That's not the one I want. Oh, here it is. Orb slow. Oh, wait, no. That's my other one. That's not the one I wanted. Orbs dome. What's this one? Okay. Orb sentient life. Quantum tunneling. Guys, I got a lot of damn videos. Also, take a second to point out that people are attacking me for my Vladimir Putin tongue-in-cheek reference. Pretty cringe, chat. Okay. Chad's calling me. I gotta up to... Okay, guys, look at this. Look at the orbs slow down. They're slow down at the exact moment Bob Greenyer was talking about. Once it hits this cloud, they begin to slow down. You see that? From here to here, they slow down. I mean, it's obvious, right? Like this one's the most obvious. Boom, slowing down. Because they're reorienting right there. That's the reason why they're slowing down. This is something that they never could have come up with. The guy who's pretending to make the videos, this douchebag, like everybody should... I don't like to send people after people. But this Joe, whatever his name is, Lancaster, whatever, like crazy troll guy who's got like triple times boosted and like pronouns in his bio or whatever, he's a freaking liar. He didn't make these videos. There's a 0% chance he made them. I don't know why he's lying on the internet for attention like a loser, pathetic moron. Joe, come out and admit that you lied. Holy crap, what a pathetic effing loser you are, man. You didn't make these videos. You didn't know anything about any of the details that we found. You know, it's just anyone who's like that mentally unwell, that they need attention that bad, that they have to pretend like they made these videos. You are a terrible human being. You are a terrible human being. And all these idiot nutjob debunkers who've been attacking me and pretending like this guy made the videos and came out, you are terrible human beings, and you're super, super gullible. Extremely gullible. Right? And you should never throw stones at anybody else for what they believe. You believe some moron with his pronouns in his bio made the videos with no evidence, that has no scientific background, that was probably like 12 years old when the videos came out, that couldn't explain any aspects of the videos, knew nothing about the videos that nobody else already knew. That's how stupid you guys are. It's embarrassing. Okay, I got to take a break here, guys. I gotta talk to somebody real quick. Okay, guys, I'm gonna play. What am I gonna play? Okay, I'm gonna play this clip I've got over here lined up while I take this phone call. Give me a sec.
Finished, guys. Finished. Now, this is all about making myself credible in your eyes again, and I'm going to do that by admitting that evolution is a lie!
God damn you, Mac!
Yes, please do, Mac.
Now, as you can see, this is the evolution meter, and I've put God, the creator of everything, on the right side, and evolution on the left. I've went ahead and put you guys all on the fence, because, of course, you're going to hear out my argument.
Actually, no. Let's start where I would start.
No matter, I'm righteous. I'm not gonna stand here, present some egghead scientific argument based on fact. I'm just a regular dude. I like to drink beer, you know? I love my family. Rock, flag, and eagle, right, Charlie? He's got a point.
No, he doesn't.
What? See, Charlie? These liberals are trying to assassinate my character. I can't change their mind. I won't change my mind, because I don't have to, because I'm an American. I won't change my mind on anything, regardless of the facts that are set out before me. I'm dug in, and I'll never change.
Mac, look, you're wasting our time. You're not going to get us to not believe in evolution.
And why is that?
Because the smartest scientists in the entire world all agree that it's real.
I'm glad you brought that up. Because, Mr. Reynolds, science is a liar sometimes.
Oh, boy.
This is Aristotle, thought to be the smartest man on the planet. He believed that the Earth was the center of the universe, and everybody believed him because he was so smart. Until another smartest guy came around, Galileo, and he disproved that theory, making Aristotle and everybody else on Earth look like a bitch. Of course, Galileo then thought comets were an optical illusion, and there's no way that the moon could cause the ocean's tides. Everybody believed that because he was so smart. He was also wrong, making him and everyone else on Earth look like a bitch again. And then, best of all, Sir Isaac Newton gets born and blows everybody's nips off with his big brains. Of course, he also thought he could turn metal into gold and died eating mercury, making him yet another stupid bitch. Are you seeing a pattern?
No.
Mr. Reynolds, these were all the smartest scientists on the planet. Only problem is, they kept being wrong. Sometimes.
Oh, this is insane, you fool!
I'm a fool because I have more faith in the saints that wrote the Bible?
Yeah, because you just read the words of a bunch of guys that you never met, and you just take it on faith that everything they wrote was true.
And what makes you think what your scientists are writing is any more truer than my saints?
Because there are volumes of proven data, numbers, figures. There are fossil records.
Oh, fossil records. Ah! I didn't even think about the fossil records. I guess I'll concede. Oh, wait, one more thing before I do, Mr. Reynolds. Have you seen these fossil records?
Have I? Huh?
Have you
It's one of those situations where the moisture in the air is...
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And so these are little streamers of fluorescing plasma in the xenon. And so what you saw before was, if I can get a streamer to wrap back around itself, as a snake eating itself, it'll turn into a giant donut, or toroid, so that we've got many of them. So what happens is this stream of plasma forms, just contained in the magnetic field, and it basically draws all of the charge inside.
Why is it sort of, why is it ducted?
So this is a power supply that's turning off and on very fast. It's a little bit unstable, and so what it's doing is it's on, off, on, off. That's not intentional, that's just how it's working.
Okay. Is this one of those situations where the moisture in the air is...
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And so these are little streamers of fluorescing plasma in the xenon. And so what you saw before was, if I can get a streamer to wrap back around itself, as a snake eating itself, it'll turn into a giant donut, or toroid, so that we've got many of them. So what happens is this stream of plasma forms, just contained in the magnetic field, and it basically draws all of the charge inside.
Why is it sort of... why is it ducted?
So this is a power supply that's turning off and on very fast. It's a little bit unstable, and so what it's doing is it's on, off, on, off. That's not intentional, that's just how it's working.
Okay. Is this one of those situations where the moisture in the air is...
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And so these are little streamers of fluorescing plasma in the xenon. And so what you saw before was, if I can get a streamer to wrap back around itself, as a snake eating itself, it'll turn into a giant donut, or toroid, so that we've got many of them. So what happens is this stream of plasma forms, just contained in the magnetic field, and it basically draws all of the charge inside.
Why is it sort of... why is it ducted?
So
see the interference patterns created by the sound waves.
Pure geometry.
A new device called LeviPrint uses sound waves to levitate and manipulate objects for touch-free building.
Resonance frequencies, everything vibrates. Have you ever, like if we had an electric razor, we plugged it in, turned it on, set it on this table, it's going to move around, isn't it? You ever seen that?
Yeah.
That's the beginning of the concept, because it's vibrating. Everything vibrates at a frequency, and if you know that frequency, you can control things.
LeviPrint is a system that can levitate, manipulate different objects to assemble complex pieces.
This is a generator that has no moving parts. It's all based on geometry.
Of course, these objects could be small spheres, but also droplets of glue, things that we can levitate, move, and rotate sticks.
The levitation is created by sound waves that have a frequency approximately double the highest frequency that we humans can hear.
Yeah.
provide a new novel matter-to-energy and energy-to-matter propulsion device for water, land, air, and space travel.
Did you see Elon Musk's wonder? Is he essentially sending a shot off the bow to people who he thinks are going after him, which is that I have knowledge of something, and a limitless energy device?
This may sound corny.
It does sound corny,
but love is the answer.
It is the answer.
Where we are a spacefaring civilization and out there among the stars. This is very exciting. This makes me look forward to the future. This makes me want that future. You know, there need to be things that make you look forward to waking up in the morning. You wake up in the morning, you look forward to the day, look forward to the future. A future where we are a spacefaring civilization and out there among the stars, I think that's very exciting. There are some ideas about having space, like so you can only move at the speed of light through space, but if you can make space itself move, that's warping space. Space is capable of moving faster than the speed of light.
Right.
Like the universe in the Big Bang, the universe expanded at much more than the speed of light, by a lot.
Yeah.
But if this is possible, the amount of energy required to warp space is so
from this guy. So, as you can see here, my client showed up for work on the day of the incident, and this is, just a second. I'm gonna have to have a talk with my nephew.
Wait, whoa.
You know what?
I want to see it.
The video is not.
Show it to me.
It's not working. I don't understand.
Is this what the jury just saw?
Yes. I'm gonna.
That's the whole thing?
Unfortunately, yes. That is not what the whole thing was supposed to be.
Not only was the animation so poor, but it glitched and just froze up. So again, we only saw like 5 or 6 seconds worth of video, but it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy.
It's like the defendant is getting hosed.
He's showing very clear frustration. He's banging his hands on the table when his attorney can't present a simple video.
Hey everybody, this is Ashton Forbes with MH370X. One of the common questions that I get is, do I feel conflicted about revealing potentially classified capabilities, both from the surveillance perspective and the technological perspective? And the answer is, of course I do, because I'm a patriot. I love my country. I don't want to hurt my country or help my adversaries. But at the same time, we know the United States government knows more about what happened to this plane than they've been leading on. In fact, it looks like they're directly implicated in the disappearance of the plane. There was 239 people on board. They have potentially over thousands of loved ones. They were lied to by the media, by these officials, etc. Even to this date, many of them don't believe the narratives that are out there, and they know something else happened. So I would love if the United States government called me, told me to stop, maybe even have me help out with other information that we can actually expose our adversaries. I would love to do that, but that hasn't happened to date. So until I stop, until I retire, we're going to keep pushing forward with it. And yes, to answer your question, I am conflicted. But that's not going to stop us. Not until we get the truth. Thanks, everybody.
We're in the wrong place here. This doesn't seem right.
Well, it was about 6 months into the underwater search, which would have been around April or May of 2015, which is itself just an extraordinarily long period of time ago. And what we'd covered enough of the seafloor to at that point, I thought at least, discount the leading assumption that the aircraft had crashed close to the seventh arc, and which is the seventh of those handshakes that the aircraft made with the satellite. Yeah, I think if that assumption had been correct, then we would have found the aircraft by that point. So at that stage, I was starting to ask some pretty serious questions about where the aircraft was and whether we were looking in the right place.
When did you start to feel like, hey, we're in the wrong place here? This doesn't seem right.
Well, it was about 6 months into the underwater search, which would have been around April or May of 2015, which is itself just an extraordinarily long period of time ago. And what we'd covered enough of the seafloor to at that point, I thought at least, discount the leading assumption that the aircraft had crashed close to the seventh arc, and which is the seventh of those handshakes that the aircraft made with the satellite. Yeah, I think if that assumption had been correct, then we would have found the aircraft by that point. So at that stage, I was starting to ask some pretty serious questions about where the aircraft
chat, here we
was
go.
and whether we were looking in the right place.
Okay, we're back. Sorry, what did we miss? Okay, so we probably got just got copyright striked. That's probably how that went down. Sorry, I had a really important phone call I had to pick up right there. I wouldn't jump off like that otherwise. No comment on William's post right there. Guys, no comment. Okay, guys, so quick recap for the people that just jumped in. We went through Bob Greenyer's science post. Bob Greenyer basically shows that the science wasn't even publicly available in 2014, and he didn't go back in time. So there's no way to debunk these videos, right? Nobody just was like, oh, I'm going to randomly add some thermal seat signatures of orbs that matches the... what's this word called again? I always forget the name of it. Vasana Pisces or whatever the heck it's called. Guys, I don't know the sacred geometry names of all these different shapes. Someone's got to help me out with this stuff. Whatever. But anyway, no one's adding that. Vasara Pisces, I don't know. No one's knowing those details back in 2014. Bob didn't go back in time, etc. So... anyway, this is why the videos are so detailed, is because we've got these small aspects in them, and why they're so, authentic, it would be the way to point it out, right? Because we see these small details, including like what we were showing here, where this is where the orbs are realigning. Like, no one's adding this into their fake video. People, the debunkers are also like, why does the pattern of the plane not match the model they found? The reason why it doesn't match your model is because we're looking at a real plane through in a real video, right? People don't know this as well. Oh, there we go. I knew JK Philly fan would come on. Yukana Vasaro, whatever. Now the reason why we see this, you can even see there's a little bit of blurriness around it, because when planes fly, they collect infrared radiation, IR radiation, right? And actually, when you fly on an airplane, you actually absorb more radiation than you normally would when you're on the ground as well. So if we're looking at this through an infrared camera from the Sibber system, that's why we see it kind of puffy and glowy, right? Because you're not looking at a model. Like, every time the debunkers come up with something, they just debunk themselves. And the funny part is, they go, why doesn't it match the model? And I go, because it's a real video. And they go, well, what is it? Well, what do you think it is? You're the one who says it's fake. Where's the model you think matches this? If it supposedly is faked, right? They don't even have any internal logical consistency in their own arguments, right? It's just absurd. The reason why we can explain everything is because they're real videos. The VFX experts don't know physics. They don't know this type of electrical engineering concepts, right? That's why no one could have come up with this. Like, it would take a literal team of people inventing this and the storyboard, right? They can't even copy it, let alone come up with it originally with no reference. So, what else do we have to look at here? We may end it there, honestly, tonight, because I'm super far behind. I just want to see if there's anything else that we need to go over. Are there any questions, anything I missed, guys? Sorry, I got off track after I went and took that phone call. But I hope you guys enjoyed the other posts that we made there. Oh, let's see if there's any spaces. If there's a space, I might jump on one. Otherwise, that's probably it for tonight. We'll see. I'll answer any questions you guys have, though. If you guys have any questions, now's the moment. Now's the moment, chat. Some of these people like this Lou Reviews guy is just gone straight off the deep end, by the way. I have no idea. Fountain FM. I don't know. People are I'm getting marketing opportunities, chat. But yeah, I don't know where all these people are so upset. Oh, by the way, that was not me talking to a lady, guys. That phone call was not me talking to a lady, guys. I'm not going to jump off the stream for a lady. No offense. No offense, ladies that may or may not be out there. No, that was more along the lines of business. That was more important than a booty call. Okay, chat? Just a heads up. So, I haven't had any additional conversations with Danny Sheehan. I spoke to him once months ago. And it was weird because I talked to him about teleportation, and then he seemed like he didn't believe or wasn't into it. But then he's talking about teleportation to people on podcasts. And he's Lou Elizondo's lawyer, and I think Lou Elizondo still has us blocked. None of it really makes a lot of sense, chat. Yeah, I mean, I hope David Paulides makes it interesting. I don't know, man. I'm skeptical of a lot of these people now at this point. The people that I want to talk to are the scientists, guys. I don't care about random conspiracy theorists and people that go around chasing Bigfoot. No offense. I think that maybe Bigfoot is out there. And I say good luck. But those kinds of people I don't really need more exposure, right? Like we've gotten pretty far with that in general. What I want is the scientists. Okay, Ruby. Hey, Ruby. Thanks for being in here, Ruby. The thing I like about Ruby, guys, is that Ruby's somebody who we didn't see eye to eye in the beginning, but I think she's come to realize that I'm just a normal person as well. And people that are into true crime, like, this is the ultimate true crime, right? And we don't even have to see eye to eye on the science and what have you. You know, I don't mind. I'm going to go full stream here. We don't need to see eye to eye on all the science, guys. That's fine. I understand how hard it is to believe teleportation. I probably wouldn't have believed it myself. Like, even less than a year ago, I would have thought, like, there's no way it's possible, right? It's only because of being, like, in the head of the investigation and all the people that I've talked to and, you know, the stuff that I told you guys and the stuff that I haven't. That's the stuff that makes me think the teleportation side is real. But we all can agree that this plane, it's not some suicidal pilot scenario where we just never found the plane. It's just not how any of that works, right? It's like if you were saying that somebody killed somebody and you're like, yeah, this is where they killed them, but there's no dead bodies. Okay, well, is there any blood or anything? Nope, no blood either. Okay, so how do you know somebody died there? Well, we followed some pings. Okay, but that doesn't mean that somebody died there, right? Like, it's just, a lot of people can look at it, look at the whole situation and go, there's more to this, right? Eddie Bravo was so into edit and was saying he has talked to Joe Rogan. I don't know what that means, everybody. I don't know what that means. If Dave Palisades, is that Palisades? I don't know how to say his name. If he did say a comment, though, that's awesome, guys. We've got a couple weeks until we retire from the MH370 investigation. There will be a couple interviews after that just because I promised people I would talk to them and they don't have time beforehand. But for the most part, we're not going to do any new investigation after that. For at least a while, right? I want to have a nice little break from the videos and from the investigation for a while. And I want to focus on the science, right? What Joe Rogan comments? Ashton is ignoring the Joe Rogan comments. What Joe Rogan comments, guys? I didn't see them. What are we talking about? Guys, if Joe Rogan mentions me... Oh, no, that was not a Joe Rogan call. No, that was not a Joe Rogan call. I see what you're talking about. Imagine if Joe Rogan called me like that right there. I mean, I think if Joe Rogan called me, I probably would just hung up the live stream. That'd be funny. Guys, you don't need to speculate. It's not anything crazy like that. It's not something I'm going to reveal either. It's not that kind of call. It's just important people. I've talked to a lot of really important people and met a lot of really important people through this, which is kind of crazy, honestly, right? Engineers, scientists, random rich people, all kinds of people, guys. One thing I'll say, I'm not gonna name who these people are. You guys probably don't even know them anyway, but I had one experience happen a couple months ago where somebody flew out on their private jet to come visit me out here and hear about the case, just for like one day. They got back on their private jet and flew out right afterwards. How crazy is that? You know how crazy that is? I'm sitting there, I'm like, someone's gonna fly out just to talk to me on their private jet and just hear me out and what have you. Like, it's weird, man. When stuff like that's happening to you, chat, that's when you're like, okay, there's something going on. Z Jalapeno, nope, she's a redhead. I don't discriminate though, chat. I don't discriminate. I told you guys my type, right? I told you guys my type. I like girls that are smart. What have you? Jake Paul. Yeah, that was Jake Paul, guys. We bought, what is his energy drink again? He came out with an energy drink. Also, I apologize yesterday for dropping early on the stream. Oh, Adrian Dittman. Yeah, I actually was on Adrian Dittman DM'd me like a month and a half ago or so and asked me to join a space with them. And it was funny because I had like 3 engagements at the same time. So I only got to join the space with him for a little bit, but I might DM him again and do another co-host of space with him. I might take the opposite stance and do like he can talk about the pros of AI and I can be on the opposite side of AI. That would be a fun ass space. I think we'd have a lot of people listening. I honestly don't know if that's actually Elon Musk or not, guys. Like, he sounds exactly like Elon Musk. And he even posted, because since I follow him and he follows me, his stuff shows up on my timeline. And he even posted one where he was in a space with Elon Musk, and I couldn't tell which one was Elon Musk or not. Like, I literally couldn't tell. I could just hear their voices, and I'm like, I have no idea. I don't think it's Elon Musk, but the first thing I said is, you're the guy that sounds just like Elon Musk, right? So, yeah. Adrian Dittman, I was in a space with him. I've been in spaces with so many. I was in a space with, what was that one guy's name? The Pharma Bro guy. I don't know, but he follows me too. Can't remember his name. I've been in spaces with lots of crazy, powerful people. Actually, that phone call was Chad and Sherry, who I was talking to there. And they were telling me that they were in a space with James O'Keefe earlier as well, which is pretty cool. So, anyway. Okay, guys. I think I'm going to drop early tonight. It was fun chatting with you guys. So, oh, yeah, Martin Scarelli. Yeah, Martin Scarelli was actually a pretty cool guy, but I feel like Martin Scarelli is not as good of a troll as I am, but he's pretty good. Like when I watched him trolling people back, like when was that, like 10 years ago or whatever, I learned a little bit about him. Yeah, O'Keefe, man, people say that the one thing that O'Keefe has said that I'll kind of end. Eve, can you re-ask your question, Eve? O'Keefe said, a lot of people ask O'Keefe if he's afraid for his life and stuff like that, right? And that's the same thing that a lot of people would ask me, not as much anymore, but I had the exact same response as O'Keefe, which is, of course I'm not afraid, right? Like, what do I have to be afraid of? That's not how I want to go about living my life, right? James O'Keefe has definitely been revealing the crap out of people. It's pretty awesome. Let's see what Eve said, guys. Yeah, you just get to a point where you start to realize stuff's a lie and what's real, and you reach this revelation point where you don't care anymore. Chris, yes, Dave is self-taught. It's true. It's true, self-taught. I'm not sure if Dave has reversed the aging process or if he's found an ability like in the Matrix to download information. I'm not really sure, but the dude knows, and he actually gave me praise saying that he thinks that like I can catch up to him, which I don't know, man. I don't think so. He just seems to know so much. Okay, Eve asked, do you not think that one orb pulls objects from somewhere and then that could be done on a galactic scale? And that is how alien crafts and other artifacts are here. I guess really Eve's question is, can objects come from another galaxy and get here? If we have teleportation, yes. If we can do faster light communication, yes. What that means is that there's easily craft here from other planets, yes, 100%. I think that if this technology is real, if we can teleport objects, which I think that we can, then there's no issue with other races from other galaxies visiting us, and there has to be life out there somewhere, right? So that opens the door to it entirely. Absolutely, chat. Just so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Imagine if I was talking to Brandon Fugel. No, I mean, I have Brandon Fugel in the DMs as well if I need to. He follows me as well. Yeah, it's crazy. All these people that follow me is mind-blowing, man. Mind-blowing. People that have huge, huge followings. General Flynn is probably one of the most impressive ones. I'm followed by a general. A general in the military follows me. One that was deemed a traitor, who's definitely not a traitor, by the way. Pretty wild. But yes, I think that we can send objects anywhere. And it's just like I think he was Lieutenant General Quast, Stephen Quast. I mean, I think he was actually talking about teleportation, but being a little bit coy about it. We absolutely can. I've spoken with Eric Weinstein on a space as well. Eric Weinstein hasn't quite woken up to the reality that there is science that's being kept hidden in the military-industrial complex. I think that Eric Weinstein is the kind of popular physicist that hasn't been brought on the inside yet. I truly don't think he has been. I don't think he's lying. I think he just doesn't know the truth, right? And when he does, it's going to blow his mind. It's going to blow his mind, 100%. He's going to get upset because he's going to realize that they've been hiding physics from us for a while, you know? And I kind of feel bad because Eric Weinstein's like trying to come up with a unification theory and they've already been discovered. They've already been discovered, man. I'm not discovering them. I'm just revealing them. That's the difference, right? They're already out there. I hope that if General Flynn, if Trump wins, which I think Trump is probably going to win, I hope that he brings General Flynn in, and I hope General Flynn pardons Edward C. Lynn. 100%, that's what I hope. Will it happen? I'm not sure, because Trump was president when Edward C. Lynn was convicted in 2016, so he could have pardoned him at any time. Can you imagine a future in a couple years where all of a sudden Trump is pardoning Edward C. Lynn? We would be losing our minds. I would be having a party. I would be drinking like 10 martinis and just getting blackout drunk. If Edward C. Lynn were to get a pardon, that would be it, right? There'd be no way to, no reason and no logical explanation for pardoning Edward C. Lynn unless, like, these videos are real and they want that to be the case. Anyway. Okay, any last questions, guys? For Sandy, I'm cautious of everybody. I don't trust anybody. I trust... Well, that's not true. There are a couple of people that I trust now, but I only trust them because of the information and their stuff checking out, right? But could I be getting used? Of course. I always have in the back of my mind, right? This idea of, can you be getting used, right? Yeah. Maybe one time we'll have an MH370X party, guys. A meetup. Who knows? Look this article up. Quantum breakthrough in high temperature superconductivity at SciTech Daily. You know what? We will look that up real quick. Guys, anything that says room temperature superconductivity, you want to send that to me right away. That's stuff that we want to know about. 7 hours ago. Let's go. Okay, it's getting scientific up in here, guys. Scientists have made a discovery that may help unlock the microscopic mystery of high-temperature superconductivity. New paper published in Nature could help the world's energy problems. I'm going to post this first thing in the morning, guys. Okay, let's see. It's always China, right? You guys notice how it's always China? Guys, if you guys haven't figured out this technology is being suppressed in the West, just look at where all the science is coming out of, right? It's coming out of Eastern Europe, and it's coming out of Asia and China and Korea. Because it's being suppressed here, because we already have it unlocked. You guys really think that the United States government, like, you think the United States government hasn't figured this out, but China's figuring it out ahead of us? No, man. No. We've got the scientists that are way more advanced than they are. No offense to China, they're very smart, but we're ahead of them. Hey, Renee, welcome. Yeah, so this is the reason why I don't mind when the haters are hating, because they're just sending more people to me. And the more people that come here, the more people realize, like, I'm not all the fake stuff that they make up about me. I'm just a normal dude, and I'm just disclosing stuff that's just incredible, right? This is a literal grassroots movement. Grassroots is in. I'm not selling you anything. I'm not trying to make you believe anything. I'm just giving you the information to arm yourselves. If it's too hard for you to believe, feel free to ignore me. Feel free to go do something else. Feel free to go back to video games and Netflix and porn and drugs or whatever the hell you want to do. I really don't care, right? But if you do want to know the secrets of the universe, well, welcome. You're on the front lines. Yeah, China and Russia have already probably figured it out. Absolutely. This is probably the reason why the government hasn't silenced what we've been doing more overtly and has been only indirectly trying to do it, is that it's kind of too late already. And they might even be using us to help get the information out, right? They may even appreciate this, because the reality is there's no way for the government to release this information, right? Yeah. Man, the haters are just hating, guys. Guys, just for the record, the haters that are coming up with stuff, you need to stop imagining like you know me, right? You don't. You don't know me, man. So, like, trying to come up with these, like, you're trying to rationalize my motivations, like, that's just psychotic behavior, right? Just listen to the words I'm telling you, right? These are the same kind of people that think QAnon shaman is a insurrectionist. I don't even like to call him that. Jake Chansley, he's just a normal guy, man. He's a really nice guy, too, as well. He was screwed over by the government really, really hard. Literally got escorted around the Capitol, and people want to call him an insurrectionist, dude. He's nonviolent. He's a nonviolent person. It's just like, this is the difference between what people are told to think and what people need to think because of cognitive dissonance, and then what people are actually saying and telling them, right? It's a big difference. So, Sandy's taking care of the trolls. Appreciate you, Sandy. Okay. Quantum superfluidity fluidity and energy efficiency. It confirms that many particle pairings of the fermions before they reach critical temperatures and exhibit remarkable quantum superfluidity instead of just two particles. That is not really a sentence that makes sense. High temperature superconducting materials hold the prospect of significantly improved energy efficiency by providing faster computers, allowing for novel memory chip storage devices, enabling ultra-sensitive sensors. Okay, what's the actual science? Yes, we already know what superconductivity is. Okay, this is not even... let's see. The energy gap without superconducting. The investigation of the pseudo-gap pairing with ultra-cold atoms was attempted in 2010 but was unsuccessful. New international experiment used state-of-the-art methods for preparing homogeneous Fermi clouds and removing unwanted interatomic collisions with ultra-stable magnetic field control at unprecedented levels. This is interesting. So, what is electrical resistance? Electrical resistance is when the electrons that are moving run into an atom, right? Boom. That's why they heat up. That's why it heats up. So when it's super cool, that's when the electrons are creating the Cooper pairs. And now they're creating this wave-like property where they have no resistance whatsoever, zero resistance, right? So what they're saying here is by using ultra-stable magnetic field control, they can remove the unwanted collisions. These new technical advances lead to observation of a pseudo-gap. Without the need to invoke any specific microscopic theories to fit the experimental data, we found the suppression of spectral weight near the Fermi surface in the normal state. I'm going to have to read this later. The reason why this is important, everybody, is because Salvatore Pais said that we can achieve room temperature superconductivity of any, basically like aluminum, without necessarily supercooling it. Right? High temperature superconductivity and without metamaterials. Now that's what this is talking about, is doing it without metamaterials. Yeah, Ray Tracer, I've seen you doing your work, my man. Keep up the good work. Okay. Any other questions on here? This is a good find though, guys. Appreciate you. Yeah, Thomas Bearden. I'm interested in Thomas Bearden. I probably just want to watch some of his videos. I actually have the one from last night. I didn't even we haven't even gone through it yet. Where is it? I've got so much stuff though, man. Like, it's crazy how many links I have to go through. So probably have to go through that later. I'm getting pretty tired. Yeah, most of the patents are suppressed that are related to this, most likely, as well as the papers. They suppress it. They silence the people. They do whatever they got to do, guys. 24-hour breakfast. Thanks, Hope. Appreciate you. Appreciate you guys. Okay, guys, I'm going to go to sleep. This was a good talk. I appreciate it. Sorry that I went away for like 15 minutes. So if you're watching the stream, you can skip past that. Take a look at this paper here. I'll throw it in the chat. So if anyone's watching, you can take a look at the chat right now. You can see the Science Tech Daily. Superconductivity will be the first thing that will come out. Room temperature superconductivity. That will be the first discovery, probably in the next couple years. I mean, it's already out there, but when it starts to go mainstream, that's going to be the ball first rolling off the hill. Then after that, people are going to start to realize what the implications are. You're going to start to see news articles about it. I'm just predicting the future right now. You're going to see on TV, on the news stands, they're going to talk about room temperature superconductivity. How can this improve our lives and make our computers go a lot faster and give us hoverboards from Back to the Future? They're literally going to be saying this stuff that I've already been telling you guys for months and months and months and months. And then from there, they're going to slowly start to talk about what the other implications are, stuff like teleportation. That will potentially take longer, macroscopic phase conjugation. But lastly, what I want to do is I want to show you the macroscopic phase the phase conjugation. This is where I'm going to leave you with tonight, okay? This is the secret. Optical phase conjugation. So this is the next thing if you want to know about teleportation that we need to figure out, okay? Understanding superconductivity is important, and I think that it's related to this for sure. But optical phase conjugation is also just magic, okay? Optical phase conjugation, you're taking the wave and you're sending it backwards, okay? You're sending the wave backwards. So they use a mirror here, and it reflects the wave. So you've got your mirror here. If you can see, it's inverted here now. Your image is inverted. Or image is actually flipped upside down there. So right here, you can see the image is flipped upside down. You take it off, right? There's our upside down image. And then when we use optical phase conjugation here, now you can get the image corrected, right? Look at that. So just to show you again, all they do here is they put this specific material here, this block right here, and now the image gets completely corrected. This is also how they create holograms, by the way, everybody. Holograms as well. Yeah, we're still live. So look at that. Now the image is corrected. Now it's so powerful that they literally can cover it up. He puts a shot glass. Look at this. This is a frosted shot glass. Watch this. You watching? Whoa. It just appears. What is going on in there? If we understand this, we will understand macroscopic phase conjugation. Remember that light is the speed limit in terms of our perception of reality, right? Just remember that. The speed of light is what we base the flow of time on. Okay, so if we can manipulate light, just like with optical phase conjugation, and manipulate it in the scales of macroscopic phase conjugation, now we can reach a point where we can potentially actually move an object that we visually see from one point to another point faster than the speed of light. It's going to take some learning to really fully explain it in the scientific level, but there you go. Pretty crazy, right? Okay, guys, I'm taking a look here. Blue LED. Any last questions? I don't know what Hathaway research is. The reality, chat, is that I don't have time to do a bunch of random research on stuff. I need like direct links to stuff, right? I don't have time for rabbit holes and stuff like that. I don't even have time for what I'm doing right now. Look how many links that I have when I hover over this. Look at how much papers and stuff that I have to go through, guys. I don't even have time to go through my emails. I'm 400 emails behind or more. You know, I'm super, to say I'm busy is just a gross understatement, okay? So it's not personal. If I didn't respond to your email or whatever your request, like, it's not personal. I just don't have the time. It's just the reality. So anyway, guys, have a great night. We'll talk again tomorrow. Actually, I'm probably going to take tomorrow off. I need a break, but we're not 100% sure. We'll see. If there's any, if there's any good spaces, then I will probably jump into them tomorrow. But otherwise, I'm probably going to take the night off. I need a little bit of a break. And then we will meet back up again on Friday. Otherwise, have a great night, everybody. It was nice to see you. And we'll talk again soon. Peace, everybody.